Hey, how's prep going? Or are you having any trouble figuring out what you're going to do for your very first campaign? Hey, um, everything's going well. I finished work on the finance district and how the hierarchy of the court system, worked out. And now I'm working on some design elements of like what the city will look like. Wow, that's amazing. I I didn't even have that much detail on my first campaign, and I kind of just, you know. Also, I'm looking up recipes on what would be in a tavern and thinking about what I'm going to make. Okay, what do you mean by figuring out what you're going to make for food? Well, it's going to be in person, remember? Yeah, I know it's going to be in person. Well, I figured that, the best way to get into everything would to make the food that they would encounter at the tavern. Dude, the first rule is always do a potluck. I want to make it special. It starts in a tavern, as most campaigns do. How am I supposed to convey the smells and the sounds and the tastes of a tavern without food? Hold on real quick. Wait. You're running different scents, right? Cantrip Candles just brought back their Feast collection. You have plenty of scents that will give you the look and feel of a tavern, but in a candle form. And they're food related? Yeah, there's stout and mapled oats. There's the rosemary pork pies, which, hello, a tavern always has a pork pie. And then apple tarts and cream. I'm a fan of all of them. Well, I guess that can work. Yeah, just go to cantripcandles.com and get your collection today, friend. I'll even let you borrow these. Sweet, I can't wait to smell them. Cool. Now, you should probably get back to actually figuring out what kind of encounter you're going to have at that tavern. How are you going to get everybody, to know each other? They were so popular that, of course, Cantrip Candles had to bring them back again this fall. You can now get the Feast Candle Bundle to help set the scene for your next session, or even when you need some cooking inspiration. With 100% soy wax and poured in small batches, you're going to get the comfy, cozy feel of the tavern every time you light one. Go to cantripcandles.com and get yours today, and tell them Shelly from After the Table sent you. Hello and welcome back to After the Table, a TTRPG podcast. 'Tis I, your favorite magical girl who dresses up like a clown occasionally, Shelly Von Miller. I'm not a clown right now, but it's okay. When we're recording this weekend, I will be dressed as a clown for the majority of the weekend because I will be in drag. Anyways, we're 2/3 of the way through season 2, and it's been amazing. And I am so happy with all the people who have been part of it. Speaking of amazing people who are part of this podcast as a guest, this week we have professional GM, sword wielding baddie, and someone I want to play against in Magic because I think it will just be hilarious because we're both bad at it. Welcome to the table, Lexi, aka Black Girl Mage. Hello.
Thank you. Also, thank you for calling out something that I try to tell everyone. I love magic. I am so bad at it.
Exactly. But yeah, introduce yourself. Let the people know who you are.
Yeah, absolutely. My name's Lexi, otherwise known as Black Girl Mage. I am a professional game master, dungeon master. I was the dungeon master for the all-black HBCU-inspired Strixhaven campaign called Strix-U. I also edited and composed that as well, or composed all of the themes and music in that as well. I have worked with, I'm trying to think, good times society, tabletop jocks, playing games, running D&D. I recently was on Critical Role's Daggerheart one shot, and you know what? I'm just everywhere all the time trying to do everything I can. That's me. Jack of all trades.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah, let's talk about Magic, because I will fully admit that I am bad at Magic. I also realized after I took a deck to be like, hey, I don't know if this is right. Can you finish building this deck for me at my LGS? They took out like this many cards. And I was like, obviously, I'm bad at this. I should probably stop.
Yeah. Deck building is a different thing entirely, though, because I feel like I can stomp with the precon. Like, that is something I will say, is, like, I can stomp with the precon. That's fine. I think that the hardest part is, like, when you're deck building, you want to have flash because you want your deck to be unique, but you also want to have staples, and I find that the balance between, like, how many staples am I going to put in this deck to make sure... Because, like, they're staples for a reason. So it's, like, you can have a very well-functioning deck, but it won't be unique either. And, like, that's where I toe the line of, like, being bad at building is, like, I'll throw something in just because I'm like, this is a staple. Or, on the other hand, I won't think about how well used, like, how actually useful something will be. I'll just toss it in because I'm like, oh, this is flavorful. And then I'm sitting on a dud for, like, 3 turns. Or, like, I should never put these cards in here.
Shit.
Exactly.
Or you're like me and I can't pull a land to save my fucking life.
Yes.
And I'm just sitting there because I barely play monocolor decks. I'm like 2 to 3 colors.
Yeah.
I never go over 3 colors. And I'm just like, I had like a whole game where I was not able to pull out my commander because I could not freaking pull a mountain to save my life.
Oh, no.
And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? And all the cards in my hand required a mountain. And I was like, just get rid of me, please. Just throw me into the fucking abyss.
It's like 2 things with that. Because one is I'm actively training myself not to take a bad first hand. I refuse to take a bad first hand. Even if I have to mulligan down, whatever, that's what CDH players are doing. Like, when they're competitive about it, they're mulling down to 4 hands, like 4 cards, as long as they have the cards they need to kickstart what they're doing. And I think about, like, even just casual play that way, where I can't settle for something bad just because it's a lower tier of play. So, like, part of it is me training that. Do I follow that? Absolutely not. The other part is, because I'm a 3-color commander kind of person. I love 40 lands. You have to do 40 lands. It sounds terrible. That's like so much of your deck. It's like 100 out of 100 cards, 40 of them being lands feels overbearing. But like,
and really, it's not even 100. It's out of 99.
99.
So you're, because you're like, and if you're playing like a commander that either needs a background or has a partner, that's 98 cards.
Yep.
And you're screwed.
Yep.
Like, no, that's a lie. My Karlach deck, I was going to make a mono red deck with Karlach, and I decided to make a red-white.
Yeah.
I chose the Flaming Fist background for her. I just made it, somebody called it a jank deck because I was just like, what? I threw it's like a bunch of ladies.
Yeah.
I just threw a bunch of badass women in there. What's wrong with that? Exactly. I have Holga in that one. I'm like, if it's like 2 combats and I get double strike and first strike and all sorts of shit in there, hell yeah. No. What are to me? Yeah. What are you playing? What are some decks that you're like really excited that you get to play?
Ooh, honestly, I haven't gotten to play Magic in forever, and it makes me really sad. Gen Con was probably the last time I played Magic, and I didn't finish a game. I really didn't finish a game. Every single time I sat down to start a game, we would get maybe 3 rounds in before I had to go somewhere, or someone would like call me to do something. It was wild, but I actually think we did finish one game. I did finish one game, but I am a big AON stan. I'm also a big, I love AON. I love oh my gosh, what is his name? I'm trying to think of him. He's from Aether Drift. He's the like zombie commander. But it's like once per turn or something. I might be getting the words wrong on this. Once per turn, pay 2 and a blue to bring a copy of something out of your graveyard.
Oh,
it's
I might have to grab that.
Yeah, it's very fun. I built the deck out. It was so nice. And then when I got to Gen Con, I think someone stole it. I'm not sure. I didn't come back with me. So I don't want to say that.
Whoever has Lexi's deck,
give it back right now. It's mine.
You better be going to PAX Unplugged. We're taking it. Fist or fight, or
it was
I guess that's both.
Tower, a little card tower keeper thing. There was a bunch of dice in the front. It was a fresh, brand new deck. I want it back.
Don't be a dick. Don't steal people's shit.
God.
Like, that's not even a Magic thing. That's just common fucking sense.
Yeah. It's like, I hesitate to say I lost it because I am extremely forgetful, but that was like a brand new, fresh deck that I had like.
You're like, no, this is
on. Like, oh my god, I was so excited about.
Oh, not the full art. Oh, my heart.
Oh.
But I am also an Eowyn stan. I love that woman. She's the one that I could not pull a mountain. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? I put more humans in her. I grabbed the precon and I was just like, no. Human.
Yeah.
More humans.
That's exactly like
more things.
The Lord of the Rings precons, they kind of all of the precons, because they want that like value and the like nostalgic feeling of like, oh, I'm drawing Pippin, I'm drawing like Merry, oh my gosh, that's awesome. It's like, that is great. They are halflings. They are not like, they're hobbits, whatever. They are not humans. And so it's like, as nostalgic as it is to have these little guys and like other people in my deck, I was just like, unfortunately, I have to cut so many of these cute little creatures because I need humans, because Eowyn cares about humans.
Exactly. It's like, it's not I don't think there's a card that is like, if you have the Fellowship, like if you have like different parts of the Fellowship. If there is, somebody fucking correct me in the comments, because but no, Eowyn, I love Eowyn. So good.
Yeah.
My other precon that I've upgraded, I have 2 precons that I've upgraded that I really love. It's the Amanatu one from Duskmourn.
Yeah.
I've added more enchantment creatures in that, so I can get them for cheap. So it's just like nightmare fuel for this little girl who's just, it's like, and then Mirko, I've just added just dumped all my surveil stuff in there. I'm like, let's go.
Yeah.
Because he gets counters every time he surveils. I could surveil 20 times in my first main phase, and look at all the counters he gets. And I could just go, boop.
Yeah.
And he has vigilance.
I think it's fun. I also really like, I think his name is Kyler. I always call him Kyle. But he's from oh my gosh, I'm trying to remember which set he was dropped a part of. Let me see. Kyler, MTG. Yeah, Sigardian Emissary. Yup.
Oh, okay.
And I believe he came out with, it was the werewolf one, with the day and night mechanics. Whatever.
Oh, Innistrad?
Exactly, yes. My brain's a thesaurus, not a dictionary.
It happens. You're like, I can give you details, I can't give you names.
I can give you vibes, but I can't give you names. But he is like, every time a human enters the battlefield under your control, you put a +1/+1 counter on him, and then every other human on the battlefield gets a +1/+1 counter for each counter on him. Now, that isn't all. It says each +1/+1 for each counter. So I'm doing humans, but I'm also doing, like, there are god counters. There are there are all different kinds of counters that aren't just +1/+1. And so the idea is to get him completely beefed up with a bunch of different types of counters, and then everyone gets +8/+8 or +9/+9.
Oh yeah. So you just have a board full of big people. Just
exactly.
Big people.
Big humans.
Big humans. The one deck I'm building 2 decks right now. I separated them out because I had them all in one because I was like, ooh, witches together, let's do this. But I decided to separate out my Tasha and my Liliana deck. So I have Tasha, and I'm trying to figure out what I want to do with her. I want something that steals people's stuff. So she has more things in her spell book.
Yeah.
And then Liliana is just mono black, and it's like, oops, all Lilianas basically, because I've gotten almost all of her incarnations.
Yeah, wow. Oh my gosh.
It's taken a little bit. I mean, I've only started collecting and playing since March.
Yeah.
So but I saw a really cool card art. I saw really cool card art, and I was like, damn.
Yeah.
It was like the pinup Rise of the Dark Realms, and I was like,
yeah.
Yes.
She's a baddie.
One of my favorite cards to play. I played it at PAX East at like a LobbyCon game.
Yeah.
And people had a bunch of stuff in their graveyards. I had it in my hand like round 2.
Yeah.
I was like, I can finally play this now. And I played it, and one of the people at the pod was just like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, they're like, yeah, so much for you being a newbie. I was like, I still know how to read a card.
Yeah, for sure.
Give me all your shit.
Oh my gosh, run me your money. Run me
your money.
Exactly.
Right now. I want all your creatures on my board.
Give it to
black.
me immediately.
Exactly. So outside of Magic. What's your nerdy backstory outside of Magic? Like, how did you get into D&D? How did you get into TTRPGs? Let the people know.
Yeah, I mean, nerd-wise, I feel like I've been a nerd my entire life. Like, my parents were they weren't, like, Star Wars people. My mom's a Star Trek person, but, we wouldn't watch episodes with her or anything. But my dad was a big, like, Batman, Superman kind of guy. So I grew up, kind of just reading whatever I could. I was very sheltered, and so much of me reading whatever I wanted was just, like, will my mom like this cover? Like, will my mom think that this cover is too salacious and, like, make me put it back? So, like, I read so many comics and so many, like, graphic novels, but, like, out of order because I couldn't, it would be like, oh, if I give this to her and she sees this panel, she's gonna make me put it back. So I'm just gonna go for whichever one I think, is the least offensive to my mom. And so a lot of my nerd origins are very kind of disjointed because I'm like, I feel like I remember that arc from Dragon Ball Z, but I don't remember anything else about it. Like, just would consume everything I could up to a stopping point. And read a lot as a kid, of course. But then TTRPGs kind of came post-college. Like, during college, I whenever, like, someone asks me how I got started in D&D, the answer is 2 different ways because it's technically 3, whatever. But, like, the 2 that I claim are, like, the first one, a friend was going to run a game for me and my group of college roommates, and it was, like, 6 of us. And they were like, yeah, tell me what themes you guys want. And so we all submitted themes. And then we did a Google sheet on, like, or like a Google form to choose what our themes were. Like, we all have to vote. And then in the end, the person was like, we're just going to do all of them. And we were like, how? Literally, how are you going to do this? And we, like, sat down to build characters, and we were completely confused. One of my friends old friends was like, intelligence, and put, like, a check mark. Like, yes, I have it. Like, that's how we were doing it back then. It didn't make any sense. I think we played a session. So we did character creation for, like, 4 hours, and then we played 1 session. And, we never played again. it just truly fell to the wayside. And then the second start was I had a friend that was going to run Curse of Strahd. I didn't know it was Curse of Strahd. I just knew it was like, he was like, oh, it's going to be a scary thing. And so I knew his sister, and, you know, I Venmoed him some money to pay for the Curse of Strahd book, whatever. But I was just like, we got 2 sessions into that as well, where, like, we played, I really dedicated time and energy to my character, and then 2 of the players were like, we're gonna barge towards this, like, group of wolves, even though we're level 1 and have 7 hit points. And it was one of those things where the DM was like, I guess all of you are a part of this now. And so we all got TPK'd, and it just ended up being, like, an interesting thing where I was like, I have not had good experiences. I think I would like to do this. And so I went out and bought the DM's guide and have been doing it ever since. Like, truly, immediately started setting up my own campaign. Immediately was like, I feel like I could do this. And it has turned into, like, over time, I've only run, like, a handful of campaigns, because I'm mostly doing charity games. I'm mostly doing, like, you know, people ask me to run games on their channel or to show off their systems and stuff. But I have had the pleasure of having, like, a campaign. I think it's been going for, like, 2 or 3 years now, which is so nice. But TTRPGs, like, initially, I feel like I had such a rough start that if my personality wasn't the way it is, I would have probably given it up and been like, I guess it's not for me. I guess I shouldn't have shouldn't try to do this, because this is a mess. And, like, there is nothing against anybody who ran D&D for me my first time. Like, absolutely nothing against it. I just, like, my brain works in that way where I'm like, a crack in the system. Seems like I've got to fix it and see if I can do a great job at it. Like, it's...
You just come in and Thanos it, like, I guess I'll do it myself.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is. And it's like, that's nobody else's character flaw, because none of those people were doing anything wrong. It's just me being a fucked up little person that's like, I will gladly take over any situation I'm in.
Well, speaking of running D&D games, how does it feel to sort of live the dream of a lot of people, like a lot of DMs, and DM for Matt fucking Mercer?
Yeah, scary. I was really scared.
Where you're like, I am sweating so much right now. I hope, because it was on camera too, right?
Yes.
Or so you're like, I am sweating. Is this showing up on camera? I am.
Yeah. Especially at the time, I was a baby. Like, I wasn't even in the space for a year at that point. I hadn't been in the space for a year. I think I was so scared, mostly because a lot of the one-shots I had done so far were for charity, or they were, like, not exactly using D&D, and, like, you don't run D&D for the D&D king and not think about how little you know. Like, that was a lot of what it was me being like, okay, so far I've been able to run off of vibes and, like, saying yes to cool shit, and that works for most people. But I think that I kind of immediately was like, this is such a huge ask. And I don't feel like, I don't even know this guy, but I feel like there is no part of him that wants me to be stressing this much. And I started thinking, because everybody at that table was intimidating. It's like KP, it's like Josephine McAdams, it's like, it was Persephone, like, it was so many people that I was like, oh god, I've never gotten to meet these people in person. Josephine I knew, but everybody else was like, I've never gotten to meet these people, I'm so scared. But then he ended up making a silly little guy for the one shot, and I was like, I don't know why, but I feel way more comfortable. I feel great, guys. I think we can do this. It was very, very sick.
How did that all come together? Like, what was that?
Honestly, it was
what was
KP.
the lead up to that?
It was
it KP?
KP is awesome. So Joe, who is in charge of Tabletop Jocks, pulled on me because he was like, I want to do more D&D stuff. This seems like something I want to get into. And so I kind of went on he was like, I would love to have you do this. And they had B. Dave Walters before me. And so he was like, I would love to have you come out. I had done some magic stuff with him. So then he asked me to do it, and then asked KP, and KP was like, I can ask Matt, if he wants to, and it turned, at least from what I understand, it just turned into a very big, like, please come play D&D with us, and, I don't think that guy gets to play at D&D enough, so I think it worked out pretty well.
Well, yeah, and now he's about to play a 3-year campaign. As of recording this,
yes.
Campaign 4 has not premiered. It's like a couple weeks beforehand.
It's 2 weeks, yeah.
And then when this comes out, it's like a month after.
Yeah.
So it's kind of fun to be like, oh, I can't wait. Because, yeah, like all of us, we've only watched him do, at least the ones that he's been able to do online, is like just little guys. Little guys here and there. I am really excited to see what happens. And the mayhem.
Oh, yeah, I'm so excited. I'm very excited. I think that, like, in general, D&D is one of those things where you don't get to, especially the tabletop situation, like tabletop, actual plays, whatever, like, getting to watch someone play is very different than getting to watch someone DM, and that is one of my favorite things in the world. Is like, I love when the Dungeon Run does this too, but like when they have people who are players who also flip and then start GMing or DMing. So like, I'm in a Call of Cthulhu game right now with a player from the Dungeon Run who's like a main player in their normal D&D campaign, which is awesome, but it's like, you really don't understand the chops someone has until they sit down to, like, they're like, oh, I can do both. I will be doing both, and you're gonna fall in love with me either way. Like, it's so magical, and I think that's also one of the main reasons that I encourage so many people to start DMing. Like, anytime someone's like, I kind of want to run, like, a Warrior Cats game, I'm like, do it. You can do it, and it'll be awesome.
Just do
Your friends
it.
will love it. Yeah.
There's so many, like, even if you don't want to write, there's so many, like, tools out there and supplements that just have one-shots or, like, whole, like, you don't have to come up with it from your brain. If you want to, you can, but, like, you have to, I think if that's your first time doing it, and a lot of people, if their first time doing it is homebrew, good on you. Good on you.
Yeah.
I can't do that. I rely heavily on sourced material.
Yeah.
I'm, like I told you before we were recording, this is not my first time doing something, like, doing a one-shot, but, like, this is my first time doing a one-shot and making my own making my own world.
Yeah.
Ish around it, and I'm like, okay, all right.
Yeah, it's challenging. It's challenging and it's fun. It turns your brain on in a different way, and like, yeah, I feel like a lot of people think it's complex, and the reason that it's complex is because the person who's doing it has decided and said, I'm sitting down at the table with a story that's as deep as my interest in it. Like, I feel like you can start off, and I don't think there's anything wrong with starting off and being like, hey friends, can I have an hour of your time? I just want to run a tiny little game. I have a monster, and that's about it. And you can show up and I will build your characters for you, or you can bring your characters, but have this in mind. Give me an hour. It will turn into 3, simply because you are, like, most people are better storytellers than they give themselves credit for. So, like, that, I think, is very respectable, just as much as someone who's like, I'm gonna type out an entire campaign book, you're gonna receive a 10-page paper before you show up, and, like, you have to know these things, and, like, if you want, you can make intelligence checks, but, like, I'm hoping that you read my source document, and, like, all of the interesting world things going on. It's like, both of those things are extremely respectable. I just tend to have more fun with, like, sitting right in the middle. I love homebrewing.
Yeah, adding your own flavor, like, adding your own flavor to campaign modules is more fun to me than, I mean, I say that, and I'm building, like, my own little world that's going to be, like, system agnostic, and that's mostly because I don't want to build stat blocks.
I
don't, it's like, I will describe the animal, and, like, you can put it in whatever world you want, baby.
Yep.
But me, I have choice in that, like, paralysis. I don't know what system I want to use.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put the onus on you. Here is my world.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm right on the opposite, like, not even opposite, but, like, just a little bit left of you, where I'm like, I read through modules so I can strip them and be like, okay, I'm gonna steal this monster, I hate that this was put in this room, I'm gonna, take the, like, map of the castle that they used, and then repurpose it entirely, like, that kind of thing, because I think that there's tons of good stuff in those source books, but the only campaign I've run that has been a module is Rime of the Frost Maiden, still running that. And then I ran oh my gosh, it's the heist one. My brain is always doing this. It's like the dragon.
I know what you're talking about.
Dragons are gold. Like,
I can see it. Oh, Dragon Heist.
Dragon Heist, exactly.
Yeah.
Dragon Heist.
It's Waterdeep.
Dragon Heist. I ran Waterdeep Dragon Heist for some people that I worked with at a cafe I used to work at, and it was like 7 people, and it was awesome. I felt like very restricted, being like, I don't know what else is going on in the city, and I don't care because this isn't my world, and like it feels so like much more work for me to figure out why I care and therefore how to make the players care, versus like if I homebrew something and then I say, oh, I kind of want a monster that's like a wandering spirit. Oh, they have a stat block for this already? Cool. I'm gonna steal their stat block and like move some things around and make some keys jangle, and then it'll be mine. Like, it feels so much better to
jingle,
do that
jingle, jingle. It's like,
exactly.
I've always had the issue of making sure that things are balanced whenever it comes to, like, creatures or, like, encounters. So I'm just like, hey, let me take this encounter. I'll add a few things. I'll figure out how they get to this point. And then, like, I'm like, all right, this is how it's gonna happen. Yeah. I had to ask somebody, one of our past guests, the playmat, about, like, high level, like, encounter building, because I was just like, I don't know. I've been a player in a level 20. I've never GM'd.
and it's different. It is very different. It's like, there are things, my players in my home game, my 3-year home game, just hit level 10. So there's so much about it that I don't know yet, because I haven't had to exist in that world of, like, them being high enough power that the world recognizes them as heroes, but also high enough power that their shit has kicked in. Like, they are the wizard, they are the rogue, they are the warlock. Like, this stuff matters, and it's like, it's this interesting thing that I'm also figuring out, and, like, I don't know. My hot take is that balance doesn't actually matter, but in the way that, like, as long as you're looking left and right before you cross the street, you'll be okay. Like, you don't have to, like, stare at cars when you're, like, crossing the street to be sure. Like, you can do a quick check and then be like, nobody's coming, I'm good. And, like, that's kind of what I do when it comes to building monsters, is I'm like, what other CR monsters would I put against these players or whatever? And that's, like, a little bit of research that I do to go, like, oh, let me see what CR the players should be fighting at this level. Is what I'm doing similar damage outputs? Is what I'm doing is stronger? Is it doesn't have too many hit points? What's the AC? Like, stuff like that. But I also use things like Kobold Fight Club that automatically does the balancing for me of, like, is this an easy, medium, or hard encounter? And then I'm just like, great, cool, I'm gonna go with it. And what does kind of get funky is that, like I said, I'm mostly homebrewing, so, like, sometimes I will take a monster and be like, I'm just gonna put a basilisk and power it up and drop it against my level 9, level 10 players. But other times I'm like, so I am, for example, my players are fighting against we had a session last night. They're fighting against I call it a tough crowd. And it's a bar brawl that has evolved into different sections of emotion. So, like, anger, like, fury and melancholy and whatever. And it's like, at any point in time, this tough crowd can make you feel certain things and then act on those certain things. And it's like, there's not a stat block for that in the monster manual. So I just kind of have to look.
Vibes.
Yeah,
it
vibes.
Is vibes.
It's all vibes. So in that case, I'm like, I don't really care about balance. I'm going to look at what kind of damage does a giant do, and then what kind of damage does, like, other monsters these players would be going up against and feel very comfortable going up against right now. And that's going to be my baseline, and then, you know, if it's too much, I know how to pull my punches because I wrote it. And if it's not enough, I also wrote it. So I can be like, 67 hit points was not enough. That's 2 turns for
You're
the
like,
wizard.
let me add a 1. Let me add a 2 in front of that.
Exactly.
Yeah, I've been able, so my last, like, huge campaign that I did, one of the tasks was, like, to get the players back to their home world. And so I've devised this whole, like, ritual. Instead of it just being, like, planar travel, just like, oh, the spell planar travel, I was like, no, there's going to be a ritual associated with this. You're going to have all these sigils. You're going to have to do, like, and it's not just you. You're going to have to, like, go do little fetch quests to get this certain thing and, like, you know, learn how to, you know, because we had a wizard in the group, and I was like, no, you're going to have to do a bunch of arcana checks to make sure that this sigil is right, or you're fucking it up.
Yep.
So it's like, yes. It's one of those things just to add flavor. Because, like, planar travel, it's like, oh yeah, planar travel. Let me cast planar travel. Or have a scroll of planar travel. I'm like, no. You're going to have a scroll, but... That's the if but of improv, kids.
Improv. You've never heard of it like this.
Yeah. It's not a yes and, it's a if but.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, I love hitting people. My favorite version is no but. I love being like, no, okay, I see what you're trying to do. No, but here's what we're gonna do.
No, thank you.
I'll give you this instead of that. Like, I'm taking the toy out of your hands. I'm taking the scissors out of your hands and giving you a crayon. Like, I'm gonna give you something. You're not gonna walk away with nothing.
You're still gonna get some scissors, but they're like the kindergarten, really shitty scissors right now.
Yeah.
Here you go. You have safety scissors. That's so amazing. So speaking of D&D, but it's you as a player, you're one of 120 something cast members of the Castleton crew. I mean, how the heck did I say how the heck did that happen, but like how was that? I can only imagine.
It was awesome. Yeah, I wasn't like a part of the main cast. Not that there was like, I don't know if you can call anyone like a main cast. I definitely think there was like, I mean, out of 120 people, I think it'd be kind of messed up to be like, there were 6 people who actually mattered. That's like absolutely not what I'm saying. But I was on for like a very short arc and then came back to like wrap up that arc. And it was so much fun. Most of that is AJ Winters, who's like the coolest person in the world ever. But the concept and the idea of it was so expansive and subversive and also fun. And I myself am someone who adores the Hunger Games, so the original pitch was like so awesome to me. And then when AJ came to me and was like, hey, I wonder if you would like to would like to see you if you would, and I was like, please let me in there. Please let me in there. Exactly. I'm breaking in.
I'll Kool-Aid man this situation real quick.
Yes.
Don't
Bursting
think
through.
I won't.
Truly bursting through the doors, trying to get in your walls, because I was just like, and I had some friends who were on there already, and they were playing. Essentially, I came on as like one of the 7 deadly sins, and who I was playing Pride. Which is so interesting to me because I think all of the other sins are things you can act upon. You can't exactly you can act out of pride, but you can't like lust or envy or wrath, like those are all much easier things to act out. And I was like, okay, how do I embody pride? And that was a very fun little challenge I got to take on with AJ, where it felt so great to see someone else be like, so she's got to be more complex than her siblings on account of the fact that pride is a much more complex emotion than envy and lust and wrath. And like, it just ended up being this like very fun, I feel like we did 4 or 5 episodes with me, and then I came back for the finale when everything was all said and done, and it was just like this beautiful wrap up where I was like, oh wow, this world is huge. It was so beautifully done.
I'm so excited what to see and how like everybody's contributions from the show like work in the book. I'm like,
yeah.
oh, I can't wait. Have you, I guess, like, as a player looking at this expansive world, expansive just gameplay, did you take anything to add to your toolbox or anything like that?
Yeah.
Player-wise, GM-wise, because producer-wise?
Yeah. I mean, I think that AJ has this wonderful ability to sit back and let people do what they came here to do. There's an immense amount of trust, and I think that like when I'm DMing, some of that trust is afforded depending on like who I'm playing with. Like, have I played with you before? Have we climbed mountains before? Have we killed dragons before? Because there's a difference between a party that you've been with for a long time, or even a party that you've gone through a very emotional arc with, and someone who you're meeting for the first time. And a lot of times I think that the automatic thing is to be like, let me feed you this adventure and let me like let you know why this stuff is important. Because I don't know if we got to get everyone to the same starting line of caring about this. And AJ does this wonderful thing where it's like, no, you care because you built the character, right? Like, you're here because you care. I'm going to trust that for you, and I'm going to let you watch the world burn and see what you do. And I felt like all of the people that worked on that project and all of the people and like bits and pieces that I got to see over time it was just full of people taking big swings, and you can really only do that safely if you feel like you were in a like trusted place with people. And that's kind of just the environment that AJ brings, I think. It's just like a very safe, fun, do what you're here to do, I'm here to do what I gotta do, and I will always support you kind of vibe. And that's awesome to be around. So I think I kind of took that with me, and specifically that being okay to be like, this is what you know, and this is what this other person knows, and here's what you just found out about them. Be free. I release you. What do you want to do?
Have fun.
Yeah.
Do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
Any temptation to run a game like that?
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. I have for a long time been wanting to play Good Society, but with a demon, like a demon kingdom.
Oh, that would be so fun!
I think it'd be really
because
fun.
of all like the packs and like just double talk and
yes,
and then like just add Good Society on there.
Yeah,
I love that. Oh,
yeah. Like packs and powerful power dynamics, but then also actual power. And like if someone came to me and was like, I want to be the demon prince of nightmares, I kind of have to say yes. And I have to figure out how far your power goes and what the limit is. And like there being a very, very high ceiling for that person makes it so much more high stakes than if it was just like regular Good Society where you're like, we're all just in a house and the power that we have is our words. And it's like, no, I'm gonna plant seeds of discord because then I can go and back it up with power, or if I don't have enough power, I can make someone else use theirs. I think it'd be super awesome. And that kind of gameplay, I think I would probably also pair it with D&D and just like have the gameplay be very, very story focused. And that is that's an AJ special right there, I feel like.
Hell yeah. If somebody did that, let me guest star.
Yeah.
Let me just be like, hi, hello.
Just your favorite demon. Extremely
just
powerful.
Your favorite demon. Hello, darling. Just give me. I love playing a good villain sometimes. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the DM in me. I don't.
Yeah.
I think that's why. It's like when somebody was just like, by the way, your vampire character is a villain. You know that? I'm like, I know, darling. There's a reason.
That's on
Would
purpose.
you like her backstory?
Yeah.
That's on purpose. Also, it's VTM. I think everybody's just a villain. And if you say you're not, you're wrong.
You're lying.
You're lying to yourself.
I want so badly to play a villain because I am very much usually the bad guy because I'm DMing, but I'm also very much usually the good guy. Like, usually the good guy more than I am the bad guy. But, like, I love playing villains. I have a friend that plays, like, every time I look up, he is playing a villain on someone else's show, and I'm like, someone ask me.
Name them. Name who it is. I will
give you. You know who it is. You probably already know who it is. It's probably. Do you know Drac?
Oh yeah. Yes, he is like so many. It's like bad guy.
Yeah.
Bad guy.
They're like, oh yeah, I'm playing a new character, and I'm like, a character, and they're like, okay, it's the arch villain of the arc. Okay.
I'm here.
And I'm like, okay, shut up.
I would love that. I would love a walk-on role if somebody just needs, hey, like, hire Lexi and I.
Yes.
We'll come in. We'll just cause havoc.
Yeah, it's so devastating too because I tend to play twins. I tend to play a lot of twins, and I've actually played Drax's twin in a game. I've played a lot of times where I'm the twin of someone evil, and I have to like be the mirror. And I think that kind of proves that I would be good at playing the evil one.
Oh, I just meant separately. I don't mean a twin.
Yeah.
I go on your bad
separately.
self.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. We just need to be villains. We need to be villains stat.
Yes. Don't get me wrong. I love playing a villain at my table. I want to cause havoc at somebody else's table.
Exactly.
And just be like, hello, I'm bad. I'm here to help you. Would you like a candy, little child?
See?
Take my hand.
I love complex villains, and I love villains that think they're heroes, and I think that they're hard to write and hard to play, but they're very fun, and that's like every
They
villain
are
I
hard to
ever
write.
make.
Oh, they are so hard to write. It's, oh gosh. Writing is, I'm trying to get over my analysis paralysis so I don't go back and rewrite everything for this novel I'm writing that's based around my character that I got to level 20, and I'm like, but I want to. There's been so many different things since I've started it that I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, that's like the best part of it, of writing in general. It's also kind of the worst. I think there's a difference between going back because of analysis paralysis or like perfectionism versus being like, I have actually learned something in the time that I started this and where I am now. And I think I tend to be pretty good at telling the difference where I'm like, okay, I think that what I'm doing is just mulling over the menial stuff that comes with writing, which is wanting to be good, when in the end I don't get good by being good. I get good by being bad, and if this has to not be good at first, it's fine. I can come back and make it good later. And like that is such a huge key, especially for, I mean, as long as you're not like, if you're publishing it even, who cares, but like, yeah, that's so much.
I would love to. It's one of those things. It's a D&D character, and like I'd have to go back through and just rewrite the whole thing.
Yeah.
Unless I'd be like, wizards, would you like my character?
Right. And I think that it's very rare that they don't, like,
Oh, yeah.
they very rarely have new characters, which is so wild to me. But it's possible to, I mean, even just having it as a draft, or even having it as, like, how do I make this agnostic? How do I make this, like,
Yeah.
you know, system
Or I
agnostic
just publish it
whatever.
on AO3, you know, just
Literally,
self-insert.
please.
Just-
I love... It needs to exist on AO3 first. That way
AO3.
when someone makes a movie out of it, they'll be like, oh my gosh, this came from AO3. And you can be like, actually, it came from my D&D campaign.
Yeah, actually, it's about my character post D&D.
Yes, exactly.
Because there's not a lot of after level 20 play.
Right.
I need a book. I need either Wizards to come up with a book or somebody to write like 5e or like whatever we're calling 5e plus 5e.
I think 5.24 or something is what we're calling it.
Yeah,
or something.
2024. Like, I need level 20 plus stuff, please.
My
just-
favorite show for that is Freerun, if you've ever...
Oh, okay.
It's called Freerun. It's an anime. So I don't know if you're into anime, but it's an anime, and it's following a wizard, an elf wizard, who she did the whole thing. She and her party basically got to level 20, basically. And actually, I would say, like, level 15, whatever. 15, but it'd be, like, 15 is, like, the cap for their world or whatever. They get to the highest level, and she's going to definitely outlive all of her party members. And she starts to, and so then she starts adventuring around, takes on an apprentice, and, like, having these very interesting kind of melodramatic, solemn experiences, because she's going back to the places that she and her party members saved when they originally were together. And so she keeps visiting places, and everybody's like, why are you coming here? And she just, like, will get a flashback of, like, one of her party mates being like, this is my favorite place to find flowers, and, like, she's trying to bring those flowers are suddenly extinct, but she can use a magical spell to bring them back, and it's in the sake of her party members. Like, it feels like a very, like, after the campaign, after level 20, like, what do you do when you're trained to be this, you know?
That makes my heart hurt. Also, no, I call the novel my character's eat, pray, love moment.
Yes. I love
So
that.
she's just, like, still sort of adventuring. She's trying to find herself. Because she's, like, 70... She's a half-elf. She's 75. She spent most of her time in a temple. And so she's just, you know, eat, praying, and loving across Faerun. Just
we love it.
doing girly pop things.
We love a half-elf Julia Roberts. Is that who's...
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I was like, I always get her and Sandra Bullock mixed up.
Whoa. For me,
It's because it's not the face. That's the funny part.
Really?
It's because they came up in the 90s together, basically. But Sandra Bullock started later, and she's older than Julia Roberts. So
Julia Roberts, I always get her and Carla Gugino stuck, like, mixed up. Because I always think I used to watch Tinkerbell and Spy Kids a lot, and Carla Gugino is the mom from Spy Kids, and Julia Roberts, or Tinkerbell, Hook. That's what I'm thinking of. Hook.
Yeah.
And so I would get the two of them mixed together. I don't know why.
That's amazing. Oh, God. Okay, no, I see it. Okay. So, like, on this idea of, like, world building and, like, the after... Okay, I saw your TikTok / Instagram reel about building in, like, the low to no magic fantasy setting. I mean, what would you focus on if you were building in that world? Because you were like, first off, I will not build in that world. I love my little magic stuff. And you gave, like, some suggestions, but, like, instead of focusing on the spellcasters, how is the world affected by, like, no to low magic?
Yeah, I mean, I think that...
Thought process for you.
For me, because as much as I said, I think that, like, right now, so one of the main things I'm prepping is tossing a group of players into the early version of my current world, which is very high magic, but used to not be. Like, magic was reserved for evil. Specifically, the like, heralds that, like, wandered the earth and just murdered thousands and just like was on a different tier of power, and magic was like a gift that was given, and it spread very slowly, and therefore, you know, the idea of it and the perception of it has changed so much. But I wanted to toss players in because I was world building, and it got to the point that I was like, I can't do anything else. I need people in here making decisions, which is how I usually decide to start campaigns. But I feel like something that really stands out to me about low magic is the fact that it looks very close. It can look very close to our world. It can look very close to our medieval, like, idea, that they're romantic, medieval, not actual medieval, but, like, romantic medieval idea of, like, we gotta use wells, and there's castles and moats and horses and beasts of burden, and, like, technology at its base level of, like, how can we make the wheel the most efficient thing for everything in the world, because we don't have magic. And then working backwards, and being like, if you've ever seen Onward, the beginning of Onward does a very beautiful job of this, of being like, there was a world with magic, or there was a world, like, that was fantastical and it had magic, and then once we add technology on that, here's how magic changes. It's just like taking that first step before that and being like, okay, I'm gonna take a regular ass world, and then what's the first thing that magic changes? Is it, okay, now we can bring people back to life? And it even helps to think of the first spell, because in my world, the spells were not discovered in the way that they're leveled. Like, people discovered 8th level spells before they discovered 3rd level spells. And that just depends on the kind of magic you find, and, like, how strong you are, your mental fortitude, all of those things, and, like, who was behind it. And so I think for me, world building starts with what kicks this shit off, and then what about that is so interesting that it changed the world. Because I think casting one cure wounds on someone isn't revolutionary. Casting hypnotic pattern on a town on accident or on purpose could absolutely change the path of the future forever. And that's very fun to build from.
Ooh, I'm excited about that. If you ever made like a AP with that type, I'll be like that. I'll be like,
yes,
I'll watch it, because like that kind of feeds my mind. It's like one of those things. It's like, yeah, I always say, people are like, oh, magic never existed in a world. I was like, no, I think magic existed, and then technology just killed it off.
Yes.
Technology and science killed magic,
yep.
And it had to, like, transform into other things.
Yeah.
That's also just the witch in me. It's like, hey. But no, I love that. The idea of, like, okay, yeah, you have this low tech thing, but like low magic, no magic world. Yep. And the first spell is a huge spell, which makes sense, especially in your world, if like a herald is the person that has like this immense amount of power. It's like, of course you're going to find something that's going to take down a herald and then work your way backwards.
Yep. And it's going to be messy. And I think that's the draw of low magic or no magic, is how messy it is. Nobody knows. We don't have the cute little, like, in a 60-foot range, make sure you know, like, you need a verbal and somatic, whatever. People had to figure that out. And I think that the low magic and no magic setting allows you to be a little bit more rule of coolly, and a little
loosey-goosey with, like, how...
Exactly. Loosey-goosey. You get to say yes to a lot more. You also get to say no to a lot more. And you can play around with the level of knowledge that a person has. If you don't have players that are conducive to that, like if you have players that tend to metagame pretty often, which is not a bad thing, but it's just something you should be aware of, like, maybe this wouldn't be as fun with them, but one of the tips that I gave in that video was just like, there are no spell cards. They don't get to use D&D Beyond spells. It's a piece of paper, and there are some, like, maybe 10 words written on there, like 1 or 2 sentences max, that say what this spell does, but not a direct thing, not specific in the slightest. It's up to that player to come up with the specifics and figure it out for themselves and risk whether or not this will hurt them or other people. And I just think it's so much fun. It lets you kind of take the reins on how magic works in your world, and say a lot about the lore of your world without just being like hand wavy, where you're like, magic exists because magic exists, and every spell, like, sometimes it doesn't make sense to me that prestidigitation is a spell that exists in D&D, and it works the same across Ravenloft, Rime of the Frost Maiden, like every single setting that they make all out in the Outer Planes, like all of these settings, prestidigitation is exactly the same. If it's homebrewed, if it's a homebrewed world, you can kind of say no, or you can make magic look different for different reasons. And I feel like the most empowering thing is like taking that the reins yourself and being like, I'm gonna make magic work the way I want it to, and you're gonna learn a lot about me as a person and about my world by how you use magic. Like, and that's a threat.
Hell yeah. And that is a threat. I hope you feel afraid.
Yes.
I love that. Speaking of actual plays and like worlds that you've built, and you mentioned it earlier, Strix U, I didn't know you also wrote the music for it. What the?
Like, the theme song that if you watch the episodes, the intro, it's like this marching band thing. I wrote that in a night. I wrote an orchestral version, and that was the original, was like this orchestral, kind of beat-driven vibe that I'd gotten I obviously am very inspired by like Black Panther and stuff, so I was like, oh yeah, we've got to. But then also I love marching band, so then I was like, oh wait, and my producer was like, you should wait, and the first season while they're babies, like, they shouldn't have this theme. Like, this theme is epic, but we want to do a fast forward to them being like 30 years old. That's when they get that theme. So then I was like, oh my god, you're so right. So then the theme's still in my head. I like immediately hopped into Reaper and just like threw together the marching band, and I was like, oh my god, this is the sickest thing I've ever made in my life. So
you're cool. Like, I'm glad I waited for this. Or like, even having, you know, the reprisals that movies do, like little hints along the ways, like, exactly. And then it gets to like the big part of the song, and you're like, oh, I've heard this already. Oh, I love that. Anytime an AP or anybody has like original music for their stuff, it makes me just a little happy, because I'm like, oh, okay, like this is nice. I wish I could do that. I know how to read music. Yeah. I don't know how to arrange music. I'm like, I wish I had the money to just be like, here, could you write a song for me?
Yeah.
Please.
It's really fun. It's like something that I grew up doing, and like grew up wanting to be a composer and being inspired by like Hans Zimmer and people like that, and then playing a bunch of instruments growing up. It was just very easy for me to be like, well, I want to be an astronaut, I want to be a chemist, and I want to write music for movies, so like, what else do I need to do? And then I got too old, and then everyone's like, you can't do any of those things. So it's been a journey coming back to things and being like, oh, awesome, I can actually do whatever I want. And no one can take that from me. So it's been very fun to get back to composing.
I've wanted to pick up instruments again. Like, what did you play as a kid? Like, what were the instruments that you played?
Guitar, ukulele. I did cello in school and into college. Drums, and then I sang, and piano, and then I picked up bass in college, and recorder in college. Could I read recorder music now? Absolutely not. But there was a solid semester in college where we did like 2 different concerts, and I played a Baroque cello, and with like actual like the strings aren't made of steel. It's like made of like raw, like not raw, but like pig stuff. I don't know, whatever. They have a different quality in tone or quality, sound, and tone. And it was a different kind of bow as well. And then I played the recorder, which
that's amazing. always tried to learn how to play string instruments, but I was a brass player myself. I played trumpet, and then I taught myself how to play French horn over a summer. So I was like trumpet, cornet, like any type of that, and then French horn, and I've been tempted to be like, how much are French horns, and how much would it cost me to get a used one so I can teach myself how to play French horn again?
Yeah, French horn is probably the most sought after instrument when it comes to like arranging, because of how beautiful the tone and the sound is. It's like an actual thing for starting composers, me included, to include way too much French horn in their compositions, because it's just such a beautiful instrument.
I loved it. I loved playing it, and like I can listen to it, like I can pick out different instruments for the most part and be like, and then I could definitely be like, that's a French horn right there. Yeah. I know what that is.
Yeah,
it's been well over 20 years, and I'm just like, I can still pick you out, buddy. Hello.
Yeah. You gotta get back into it.
It's been so long. I feel I have like my starting instrument that I started playing with, which was like my dad's cornet, and it's like in a closet in the other room, and that I look at that thing and I'm like, ooh buddy, you are tore because I got it was tore up, but like now, like 20 something years later, I'm like, ooh buddy, and it's gonna cost me so much money to get that thing fixed, but I just love music. Music just does something to me whenever it's just like good music. I'm like, yes. Let me just... I think that's why I can just fall asleep to music half the time. I'm like, all right, I feel good.
Truly same.
You're like, yes. So I guess another question that I have is, what would be your theme song? What would your theme song sound like? Lots of French horn.
Oh God, I wish. I feel like it would be like a mixture of. Okay, so there's this track in Black Panther, the first Black Panther soundtrack, called the Ancestor Tree, the Ancestral Tree.
Oh.
I honestly think it would be a mixture of the beginning of the Ancestral Plane, where it's this like beautiful striking orchestra, this still stagnant orchestra. They are asking a question. It's like call with no response, as you know, T'Challa is reaching out to his ancestors and like asking this question, this age-old question. I think it'd be a mixture of that and Killmonger, probably, like that, like kind of dropping into a trap sort of beat. Like it's a trap beat that ends out a little orchestral. It's either like that, or it's something extremely romantic, like it's giving like La La Land. It's giving like Chicken on a Stick from La La Land, like so just very cute. Or I don't know, just like somewhere in that land.
Just speaking of people whose music I like, I do like his music. The guy from La La Land,
Justin Hurwitz.
Yes. Oh my gosh! Whenever I heard Whiplash, I was like, oh, and then I was like, oh, La La Land. Yes, I will watch La La Land for that.
I went to go see La La Land performed live. It was like the local orchestra was doing a like, we're gonna play the movie and play the music at the same time. Guess who shows up? Justin Hurwitz to conduct. It was so awesome. And he was like, I live in Chicago, so he was like, I literally wrote City of Stars in O'Hare because I was flying to LA to present the last of the music, and I had not written City of Stars yet. So I was sitting at O'Hare writing City of Stars. So of course I had to be here to do this here live. And it was such a magical moment. It was so awesome.
Oh God. It
was awesome.
Gosh. There's another concert. I would love to see that. There's other concerts that I want to go see that are orchestral ones, and it's I want to go see the Stardew Valley ones.
Oh yeah.
I've heard that they're really good.
I've been seeing people go to those. Yeah, they're That, and then there's one for, there was something that came out earlier this year that I was like, oh, this is gonna be great. When they start traveling and doing the Sinner soundtrack, I will be all.
Oh my gosh, I will cry. I will throw up.
Yeah, I will truly be all over it.
I know that they did one. I know that they did a concert in Europe, but I want the Baldur's Gate 3.
Oh yeah,
like,
that'd be a good one.
The orchestra for Baldur's, like, or somebody's orchestra, just do it. Be like,
yeah.
Because they also at that, because they had like a bunch of they had a bunch of influencers go, and people were taking video, and they had Andrew, who plays Raphael, sing. And I'm like, are you fucking shitting me? Like,
wild.
That's his little theme from the game, and I'm like,
yeah.
I love it.
That's
I love
awesome.
it so much.
That's awesome.
I want to see that live. Let me see. Please tour this around.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. So I ask this question occasionally. Who's on your dream list of either GMing for or being at a table with?
Okay, Megan the Stallion.
Oh fuck yes! Oh my god! Megan is already like an anime.
Yeah.
Already a blurred already.
Yep.
I want Megan to play D&D.
I want Megan at my table. I want Flying a Boss.
Oh my god. Both
they're already
both of them? Yeah. Yeah. Oh my god, that'd be so good.
That'd be so sick. Renee Rapp. I think that she would hate it, but I think we'd have so much fun. I think she would hate it, but she'd have
She
so
would
much
go
fun.
full theater kid though.
She'd be full theater kid in there, and she'd be like,
"Oh my god,
I don't know what I'm doing," and I'd be
it.
like, "Don't worry about it, girl. Don't worry." About
It's yes and girly.
Yes.
Like, you've got this.
I'll be like, "A natural 20s on anything you do, girl. Just sit down at the table."
You get advantage on everything.
Exactly.
Inspiration, got it.
And then I'm trying to think. I feel like I need like one. No, I don't think I need a dude. Actually,
Sorry.
I was like,
You're like,
do I need one
no, I
guy?
don't.
No.
Do I need a guy to balance this out? Nah.
That's like a 3-person party? I think I do need one more person, but I'm wondering.
At least one.
I feel like Amanda Stenberg would be Amanda Stenberg. Is that what's their name?
Oh, Steinberg is
yeah.
We're
saying all the names wrong. Stenberg, yeah, Amanda Stenberg. I think Amanda is probably super deep in the D&D hole.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I want their brain at my table. That's it.
So that's oh my god, that'll be great.
Got a perfect like 4-person party. I think actually 5. Wait, yeah, because Flying a Boss are 2 people, so we've got 5.
So that's like a 5-person.
That's
a good.
That's perfect.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, who? Now the question is like, what would they all play? What would you run for them?
Who can know what's truly in the heart of another? I think
that's true. That's true. Let them be on their own expedition on trying to find their character.
Like this is the clip that we need to post to say hello. If you are out
and this will happen. Yeah, no, okay. What are you running for this table of amazing people?
I think I would run a thing that has been a short film idea for me for a long time. I think I would run a game where they all grew up in the same neighborhood, playing games together, and as they got older, they all left it behind. But then the ideas from their dream. Like the ideas from their original like grow up, like I don't know, the things that they used to play games together and like make up starts to come true as they're adults. So they're adults having to come back and like become the characters, the D&D characters that they made as kids. That way,
so like a little bit of D&D, a little bit of Dread, a little bit of yeah,
and that way there's an excuse for them to be like learning mechanics, because in real life their real life characters are like learning mechanics for the first time.
That's
I think it'd be so fun. Yeah.
Ooh. Yep. Okay. Yeah. No, I want to see that. That would be great. Somebody should totally produce that. I'm not saying who.
Amy.
Somebody. There's LA. Hello. This would be like an amazing opportunity.
Just saying.
Oh my gosh. Well, on that note, tell the people where they can find you. Plug your shit.
Yeah, absolutely. So like I said, my name's Lexi, otherwise known as @BlackGirlMage. You can find me everywhere. Twitter, Blue Sky, yay, Twitch, YouTube, all of those things, @BlackGirlMage. You can find me on TikTok @LexTheMage, I think my name is. For some reason, couldn't find Black Girl Mage. I don't know. You'll find me either way. I do a lot of TTRPG stuff. I write, I sing, I play music, do music, I give tips, I run games, I play games, and all of that stuff is just kind of up in the timey-wimey soup. So you can usually find, if you find me on any of those platforms, I'll tell you what I'm up to. But some things I'm excited about. So first of all, I'm the GM for a mech podcast. It's like a hopecore post-apocalypse mech podcast using a hack of Fabula Ultima, and it's called Sacred Machinations. It's featuring Connie Chong, C. Thomas, Stella Luna, Drac, and Hamna, who all of these people are people that all of them have their own shows, and I respect them all so much because they are like some of my favorite people in this space, and they trust me to be their GM. I'm having a great time with that. We are filming some of the final episodes right now, so like it's a podcast. You can find it at Spotify, anywhere you get podcasts, and it's just a very fun, subversive take on the mech genre. And also, PAX Unplugged is coming up, so it'll be. Is it after this? Is it after this will be live? Or before?
After this.
After.
So,
yep.
yeah, it's the
You're
week
so
after.
Right.
Yeah.
You're so right. Me and my buddies are going to be running, I'm going to be running a game of Cthulhu called White Collar Cthulhu, a Severance-inspired themed one-shot. And then also I'm going to be running The Quiet Year actual play called, or After the Jackals. So it's gonna be great. It's gonna be
I'm
fun.
excited.
Yes.
I'm gonna have to go watch that.
Yes, it's gonna be awesome. And yeah, that's kind of everything.
I love it. I love it so much. Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait to see your face at PAX Unplugged.
It's gonna be great.
It's gonna be great. We're gonna play Magic together, and we're going to suck at it. But we're gonna suck at it together. And maybe we'll pop off. Who knows?
Who knows?
With that being said, you can find all of Lexi's links down below in the show doobly-doo notes things. Speaking of finding people on the internet, you can find me everywhere on the internet at Shelly Von Miller, because branding is important, to include Patreon and Fourth Wall memberships where you can get early access to the podcast, to videos I make, to behind-the-scenes content, and exclusive content like the segment we're about to record called Table Sets, where I ask more questions, but it's like choose one or the other. I make people choose things. I don't know. Yeah, there you go. Anyways, I love you guys very much, and I will see you on the internet. Goodbye.